Hey friends, super excited about today's video. Today I get to reveal to you 3 new BK Beauty brushes that we have quietly been working on for the last year, and I can't believe the day is finally here to share these with you guys. You are going to be so excited. You're going to love these. These are 3 new complexion brushes, and so I thought I would do a video on some complexion routine tips. Not only tips, but some products that I've really been loving and enjoying to give you a flawless but natural complexion. So before we jump into the video, let me introduce you to the BK Beauty Core Complexion Trio. There are 3 brushes in this, and these shapes might look familiar. You might be looking at these pictures thinking, don't you have these brushes already? And we don't, but we have some that are very close look-alike. So let me show you guys the new Core Complexion Trio, you guys. We have the 114. This is a dual-sided concealer brush, and don't worry, we're gonna get into the specifics of all of these brushes in the video. I just wanna do a quick introduction and give you all the details of the launch. So this is the dual-sided concealer brush. As you can see, we have the Core BK Beauty fibers on one side, and on the other side, we have this beautiful, rich brown fiber. So similar to the N17, the lighter side is designed to work with your cream liquid products, specifically for concealers. And then on the other side is designed to offer you a fiber for powder application. So think of applying your concealer with one side, then going in and setting it with powder on the other. And next we have the 115, and you guys, I mean, she looks familiar, doesn't she? So the 115 actually sparked the inspiration for this entire set. It obviously is the baby sister of the 101, okay? So here's in comparison, and I'm gonna walk through details of all of these, but it's a smaller version of the 101 because I felt like there was such a gap between the 101 and the 109, or 101 is pretty large, the 109 is pretty small, and the 115 was designed to fit in between the two. So this is great for foundation. It does differ from the 101 because it's smaller, it's more dense, and it's gonna offer more coverage for whatever product that you're working with. So think of this as your full coverage foundation brush. And again, we're going to dive into all the details in the video, so stay tuned. And then the last brush that is part of the Core Complexion Trio, and I can tell you right now this is going to be my personal favorite, is the 116. The 106 finally gets a baby sister, you guys, because the 101 has had the 109, right? But the 106 needed a baby sister. So here is the 116. And let me show you in comparison quickly how it compares to the 106. Again, we're going to go in more detail in the video. You'll see these in action. But the 116 is this one, the 106 is this one. So you can see that it's quite a bit smaller. And this was really designed to be to the 106 what the 109 is to the 101. Everyone loves the 109 for cream contour, cream bronzer, cream blush, and they love the 101 for foundation. Think of the 116 as the baby sister to the 106. Great for cream contour, cream bronzer, cream blush. I was so excited about this one. I was hearing overwhelmingly from you guys. I love the 106. I use it for cream contour and cream bronzer, but I wish it were a little smaller. So you ask and you shall receive. So those are the 3 brushes in the Core Complexion Trio, you guys. It just launched today. It's available for purchase on bkbeauty.com. So here are the details. The bundle retails for $95. Right now, we just have the bundle sets available, but we will be launching singles early next year. So stay tuned. If you want to hold out and purchase singles when they're available, you won't have to wait too long. They'll be available in a couple of months. If you want to get the trio and figure out which are your favorites, the singles will be available soon, you guys. Now, I'm excited because we teamed up with Dr. Whitney Bowe Beauty, and we are doing a special gift with purchase for this set for a limited time. We have about 250 of these, so once they are gone and sold out, we will not have this offer. But right now, for a limited time, you guys, for anyone that purchases the Core Complexion Trio, you will be gifted a Petite Bow Glow. So this is by Dr. Whitney Bowe Beauty. She is a celebrity dermatologist. You might have seen her on Good Morning America or the Today Show or The View. She is a wealth of knowledge. She's actually the dermatologist that kind of coined the phrase skin cycling. So she's huge on TikTok. I'll actually link her channels down below in my description box to follow her because she puts out amazing content on skincare. And she has her own line of products, and we are partnering with them. So for the first 250 orders of the Core Complexion Trio, you will get a Petite Bow Glow moisturizer included in your order. And I've been using this for a couple months, you guys, and I love this moisturizer. It's a really really nice, rich formula, but it's not heavy. So you can use this for morning or for night. I find that it pairs well underneath my makeup. It doesn't feel heavy, but at night it is still rich enough to feel like it's giving me the hydration that I need overnight whenever I like to do like more of a treatment on my skin. It's absolutely beautiful. The packaging is stunning. This is a $35 value, you guys. They actually sell this size on their site for $35, so it's a really great value. Again, for the first 250 orders of the Complexion Trio, you will be gifted a Dr. Whitney Bow Petite Bow Glow. So I'll have all the details down below. Let's get started in the video. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Before we do, I just want to thank you guys. We're approaching the end of the year, and I want to thank y'all for being here. YouTube is my greatest passion. It's my favorite platform. Don't tell the others, but it really is, because I feel like I get to sit down and really allow you guys to see more of myself. I get to talk longer. I get to blab. I don't know if that's a good thing for you or not, but I just feel like I can connect more to my community here on YouTube than any other platform. And I want to thank you for being here and for watching my videos. I really hope that in 2025, I can create more content and get back to a 2 video a week cadence. The last 6 months of life have been crazy. There's been so many amazing things happening, both professionally and personally for me, and it's been exhausting. It's been very exciting, and I've really been trying to just enjoy this moment, but I'm also hoping for things to kind of slow down in 2025 and just give me a little bit more time to pour into the outlets that just really bring me a lot of joy, which is YouTube. So anyway, thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and move on. For this video, I thought it'd be fun to kind of just give you my favorite tips for creating a beautiful, natural, flawless complexion. And a lot of that is going to come down to the products that you use, the tools and the brushes that you use. But I thought I would just sit down and kind of do my makeup and really focus on complexion and share with you tips and tricks. And we'll be using the new Core Complexion Trio from BK Beauty that is just launching today. And you guys, this has been a labor of love. We've been working on this for a long time, but as I mentioned, the last really 8 months, 12 months for the brand there's been so much going on. This launch kind of just snuck up on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we are launching these. And I'm excited to share them. I know you guys are gonna love these brushes. We really took, our best-selling 101 foundation brush, which really inspired this whole trio and this set, and created some complexion brushes that are just a little bit more specific and tailored for certain complexion applications. And we're gonna get into all of that. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got a brand new set. I actually have a couple of brand new sets here. I'm excited to open these. They actually just arrived to our office yesterday. I'm filming this, what's the date today? I'm filming this on December 3rd, Tuesday, December 3rd. So these arrived yesterday. I've had samples obviously for, most of this year, but the actual order just arrived, and I'm excited to share these with you guys. So this is what they look like. They are 3 complexion brushes, and 2 of the styles are going to look very familiar to you guys because they are like the baby sisters to some foundation brushes that you're very familiar with, the 101 and the 106. And then we have the new 114 concealer brush that was really inspired by that dual fiber brush that we launched in the N17. People loved the dual fiber and the multitasking that brush allows you to achieve. And so I wanted to do that in a concealer option. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's start with the 115. I want to show you guys in comparison to the 101, the size difference, because that's going to be the biggest question I think that we get is how does it compare to the 101? And also, how does it compare to the 109? So these are the 3 sizes here, you guys. This is the 101, and this is the new 115, and this is the 109. So before we launched the 115, you can see that there was a big gap in size between the 101 and the 109. These are 2 of our best-selling complexion brushes, and the first bestseller is the A506, which is the concealer version of this guy. But you could see that when it came to brushes for face, for this style, there was really a huge gap. You had a very large 101, and then you had a very detailed, smaller 109. And as much great positive feedback that we get on the 101, I'll never forget it. There was a feature that we ran, whether it was People or Birdie or one of the big beauty publications, they were ranking the best foundation brushes, and the 101 made the list as one of the top 10 foundation brushes. And for each brush, they kind of talked about the pros, and then they identified a con for every brush. And the con, they said, is that it could be a little large for some faces. And I remember reading that thinking, they're right. I need to create a smaller version of the 101. And so that's what we did with the 115. 115. And the 115 was the first brush idea concept that I came up with, and then the other two leaned into the new 115. So it's very similar to the 101. It is smaller, so it's gonna be a little bit more dense, which is gonna lean towards giving a full coverage application. You can still get a full coverage application from the 101, but you can also sheer product out and get a lighter sheer application. With the 115, you're really gonna get the most coverage from whatever product that you're using. So if you're using a lighter, more natural sheer foundation, you can certainly apply it with the 115 brush. It'll give you the most coverage that is available from that specific product. So this is really great if you're looking for full coverage. So let's go ahead and go in. The foundation that I'm choosing to work with today is the Haus Labs, the Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I am the shade 210 Light Medium Neutral, and I have been really enjoying this foundation. It's been one that I've been grabbing a lot lately. I used this in some content a couple days ago, and I just loved the way that my skin looked. So we're gonna apply this, and we're gonna use the 115 to apply it. And just like the 101, you're gonna take the same principles. I always talk about with the 101, if you want the most coverage, use this part of the brush. If you ever wanna sheer out, use this part of the brush. And that is the same case with this, even though this brush is designed to give more coverage. If you do wanna sheer or pull product to kind of spread it, use this part of the brush right here. So I'm gonna go in, and I'm actually gonna kind of get the center of the brush loaded with product, and I'm gonna start here in the center of the face, and I'm just gonna bounce the brush onto the skin. When I'm around the nose, that's when I'll use the longer fibers to kind of blend out around the nose. This foundation is really beautiful. It gives a very natural, healthy, skin-like finish. So it gives some radiance to the skin, but it's not like a wet or dewy looking radiance. It's more of just kind of like this subtle radiance, this subtle glow. It wears really beautiful. It looks good all day long. You don't need a lot of it. The jawline, you notice I'm kind of sweeping and pulling, again, to just make sure that I don't have any harsh edges or I don't have any excess product built up right here on the jawline. I want it to be seamless. I don't want you to see any makeup. And I always like to start in the center of the face because that's where I need the most coverage. So wherever you start is where you're going to apply the most product, and I want most of the product in the center of the face. When I get to the nose, that's when I use the longer part of the brush, the longer fibers. And when I'm on the cheek or a more flat area of the face, then I'll kind of bounce it. But any area that I have like a contour or like a jawline or a nose or any area of the face that I need to, I'll use the longer fibers to spread. Oh, it looks so good. This shade is a perfect shade match for me too. When I first bought this foundation, I think I bought it in a different shade because I remember the first time I tried this, I didn't love it, but it wasn't the formula. It was the actual shade that I got was wrong. And then I remember talking to Nikki, I think it was Nikki, who told me she loved this foundation. And I remember thinking, really? I don't remember loving it. And so I went and gave it another try. I got the right shade and now I love it. So again, you're really gonna get a full coverage application from this brush. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next brush. And I'm really excited about this one. I think you guys are going to be too. This is the new 114 concealer brush. This is a dual-sided concealer brush. So you have on one side the kind of standard BK Beauty fibers that you're very familiar with. And then on the other side, you have this new beautiful rich brown fiber that's a little deeper. It's not quite the same as the N17. The N17 fibers are darker. So it's a different fiber, but it's also designed to work really well with powder products. You can see the shape on this brush has kind of a triangular point to it. It's very much shaped like if you think of the end of a velour puff, that's kind of what I wanted to create. I wanted to give you that shape to get right underneath the eye to set with powder. So this brush is specifically designed for concealer. Now, can you use this brush with other products like highlighters or absolutely, you definitely can, but it was specifically designed for concealer in the shape of this brush, and then also having the dual-sided fibers, the idea is that you use the lighter side to apply your concealer, your cream or your liquid concealer, and then you use the other side of the brush to then set your concealer. So this brush, even though all of our brushes can be used for other purposes, I really wanted to lean into the fact that this brush is really designed for concealer. So let's go ahead and go in with concealer, and I grabbed the Tower 28 concealer. This is the serum concealer, and this is a favorite of mine. I love this concealer. When it launched, I jumped on the wagon real quickly and I loved it and I talked about it and used it all the time. And then as they do, I try and test so many products that sometimes amazing products that I love get pushed to the side and forgotten about. And I pulled this out of my drawer a couple of weeks ago. I was just reorganizing everything and I found it and I've been using it and I'm reminded of how much I love it. So let's go ahead and go in with this. And by the way, this shade that I'm in is IE. It's either IE or 1E. I'm not sure if that's a 1 or an I, but as always, all the products that I use along with their shade names will be linked and listed in the description box. I'm also going to tag all the products in the YouTube shopping platform so you can shop these products while you're watching this video. What I love about this formula is it's very lightweight. It's a serum concealer. So if you think about serum concealers, and foundations too, I love the texture of serum products. They're just very lightweight. They're very spreadable. They just blend into the skin and look like second skin. Now, because this is a concealer, it's obviously going to have a lot more pigment and more coverage, but I love it. It's very hydrating. I put a little bit there, and then I put a little bit in the outer corner to kind of lift the eye. I'm going to go into the other side. Now, this shade works for me. I do love this shade, but I could also go a little deeper or a little more peach too, because this is a little brighter, but it totally works. I just wanted to share that. Okay, so we're going to go in with the 114, and we're going to use first this side with the BK core fibers that you guys are familiar with. We're going to use those to blend and apply the concealer. And with this brush, I always like to start in the inner corner, and I'm going to kind of sweep. Do you notice I'm kind of sweeping and I'm pulling this up? I also love this brush because it does have this nice clean edge to where you can really pull that up to give that lift. I'm going to go and do the other side. Just kind of spread it first. Okay, then I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to kind of dry clean it, which is running it over a dry paper towel or a soft towel just to kind of remove any excess product that I have. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my tapping motion to really blend this out and get the most coverage I can from it. Remember, when you pull like I first did, that's really spreading product and it's also shearing product. So I did that first just to make sure I had coverage underneath the entire eye, but now that I do, I want to blend that concealer in, but I don't want to lose the coverage that I want to achieve. I want to achieve the most coverage. So now I'm just going to take my time and I'm just going to tap this guy. You can also turn it around and use that tip to spread any concealer onto the lid. You can also use it underneath the brow if you want to highlight the brow a little bit. This nice sharp tip really allows you very strong precision when you're trying to, again, carve out the brow or lift the eye or highlight the face with concealer. It really gives you a lot of control and precision. Oh, so good. Okay, let's go to the other side. Again, I'm going to dry clean my brush. I do this with every concealer and concealer brush that I use. I will kind of dry clean it between uses. Now, when it comes to achieving the perfect complexion, you guys, especially when you're looking for concealers, it's all about finding lightweight products that provide the coverage that you need and want, but not more than you need or want. Sometimes full coverage is not the best option, even though we all think, oh, sure, I want full coverage. Well, what does that really mean? Do you really need full coverage? Because you might find that you're using products that are too heavy for you, and while they might be covering all the discoloration or redness or melasma, it might be magnifying texture on the skin, because if you think about it, coverage is designed to even out the skin tone, right? Make it all one tone. But when you have a heavy product, it can actually magnify texture. So let's say you are someone that struggles with acne and you have a lot of redness on the skin from the acne, but you also have a lot of texture, whether it's scars or bumps or whatever, there's a lot of texture. And that can be challenging because you want a foundation that's full enough coverage to cover all that redness, but you also don't want something that's going to be heavy, that's going to magnify the texture, right? So really think about the products that you're using and think, one, is this giving me the coverage that I need? Two, is it giving me more coverage than I need? Because if it is, then there's probably a better option for you. Oh, look at how good that looks. That looks so good. I also had microneedling done about a week ago, a little over a week. So I think my skin is just having better skin because of that. So, all right, you guys, now let's go ahead and move on to the next brush, which I am super, super excited about, you guys. And it is the 116. The 116 is the small round complexion brush. And if you know me, you know I love my 106 foundation brush. It is my personal favorite foundation brush. I have it here right now so I can show you guys the comparison. So this is the 106 and this is the 116. So you can see it is quite a bit smaller than the 106. There is a significant difference in size. So that is going to really change the performance of this brush. You certainly can use this for foundation if you want. Again, just like the 115, it is going to give you full coverage. It's going to give you more coverage than you would get from the 106. I actually designed this to be for all of those of you. I heard this from so much of the community. I love my 106. I use it for cream bronzer and cream blush. I just wish it were a little smaller. I heard that so much. Or I would hear that from people that they loved it for cream bronzer, cream blush, and I would have the thought like, oh, it's not too big for that. So I wanted to create a brush that you could use along with your 106. Your 106 is for your foundation. Your 116 is used for your cream bronzer, your cream blush. So that's that's what this guy is used for. But again, like the others, you can certainly use this for foundation. Just know that it's going to give you a lot more coverage than you would get from the 106. And I really designed it to be for cream blush and cream bronzer. So let's go ahead and get into that. I've got my cream bronzer. This is my Makeup by Mario bronzer stick. This is the shade Light Medium. Okay, and usually I like to go from the brush. Well, actually, let's do it both ways. So I'm going to go first from the brush to the product. This is normally how I like to apply my cream products. I am going to show you how it looks if you actually swatch it on the skin and then blend out. But I'm going to load product on my brush and I'm going to tap it right on that cheekbone. So if I really think about this, now that I'm actually filming this video and thinking it out loud, this is essentially what the 109 was to the 101. So when we launched the 109, it became the cream bronzer, cream contour, cream blush baby sister to the 101. And now the 106 has the same baby sister. That's what it is. So if you like the 106, this will be your new bestie for cream bronzer, cream contour, cream blush. And as you can see, I'm just kind of tapping it onto the skin and I'm getting a beautiful blend. There's really no work that needs to go into it. You just need to tap it. When I'm going on the hairline, I always kind of shear it and pull it out. If you notice, I always kind of shear it and pull it out. You can also go to the side of the nose with this. It's just a really good size for this application. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you what it looks like if you are someone that likes to actually apply the product to the skin and then blend out. So I'm gonna apply it right there on my cheekbone. I'm gonna apply it right here, a little lower than I wanted to apply it, and we'll apply a little bit on the side of the nose. Okay, so let's start out here first. And again, you just wanna tap. You're gonna get more of a stronger contour if you use the stick to the skin. If you want a more diffused blend out like this, you can certainly get it with this brush. You're just gonna have to work a little harder if you use the stick to the skin. If you know that you want a softer blend, I would always start on the brush to the product. But do you see how that blends out? I mean, it's so quick, so easy. Same thing for the hairline. And then on the nose, I'm just gonna tap and kind of pull up. Okay, perfect. There we go. And actually, I kind of over blended, so I'm gonna go back in and add a little more here. I feel like I over blended that part out. There we go. Oh, so good. So good. I love this. I can already tell you this is going to be one of my favorites. We will probably have to reevaluate our founder's favorites and add an extra brush. Okay, let's show you how it works with cream blush. Okay, so I have the House Lab blush sticks. This is the shade Glassy Rosette. And for this, I am just going to kind of do a little circle here. Just to show you the magic of this brush, you guys. Now, when it came to choosing and selecting and finalizing on a sample of this brush, when the first round was produced, we actually had several different options as far as density and flexibility. You guys know I always talk about if you want full coverage from products, or if you want brushes that are designed to work with cream products, you need it to have some density, right? It can't be too soft and too fluffy because it won't really grab a thicker product. You need some of that density, but you also need it to have some give so that it actually blends it out. So the first round of samples that we got, I think it was 4 different options of density, and they all looked the same. If you were to look at the brush, you would be able to tell no difference, but when you worked with it and played with it, you could really see that some were more densely packed, some were a little bit looser, some had more give, some more didn't. So I really wanted to find the perfect balance of that. That is something that's really important to me as a makeup artist. I see so many brushes out there that I'm like, oh, like they might look the same, you guys. You might find brushes on the market that look similar, but I'm telling you, there is a difference in the way that they're made, the way that they're hand packed, the way that they're shaped, the way that they're cut, the way that they're, you know, how many fibers are packed in there, how loose is it? All of those variables make a difference in how a brush not only feels, but how it performs. So I say all of that because don't think that just because you see another brush that looks just like this, that it's gonna be the same. Oh, so good, look at that, so good. This brush is amazing. I love this brush. I love it, love it, love it. I love it. So those are the new Core Complexion Trio brushes in action. Again, let's walk through them real quickly, you guys, and then we're gonna finish out the face. So first we have the 115, which is a smaller version of the 101, our best-selling brush. Again, to summarize, it's gonna be more dense and it's also gonna pack on more coverage. So it's gonna basically give you the most coverage that you're gonna be able to get out of whatever foundation that you're using, okay? Then we also have the 114, which is a brand new brush style. It's the dual fiber. It is for concealer and for setting powder. Oh, you guys, I never actually set underneath the eye. My goodness. Okay, so let's go in and use the darker fiber, and we're gonna go into the Huda Beauty powder. This has been my new go-to setting powder. It's replaced my Givenchy since they reformulated it. I love it because it's very lightweight. It gives a natural matte finish, not chalky or not heavy. And I'm just gonna go under and just tap that right under the eye. I wanted this shape too because I wanted it to really kind of replace that velour puff. If you're using a velour puff, this is going to be your new best friend. And just tap, tap, tap. You can also set the forehead with this brush. I find that just tapping the brush is going to give you the best application because it's not a big fluffy brush. I don't really recommend sweeping it like this. You're just going to disrupt whatever cream or liquid products you have underneath. So with this particular brush, a pressing motion is best, okay? When you're talking about the darker fiber part, when you're talking about the lighter fiber and you're blending out concealer or creams like liquids, you certainly can sweep, but for the powder part, just press. Look at that. That just like cut down any shine. Amazing, you guys. So good. You can also go around the mouth with this. So, so good. So that is the 114. And then last, the 116, which is the baby sister to the 106. I can tell you right now, this is going to be one that you guys are going to start seeing in all of my videos. This can be used for foundation, but I really designed this with that community in mind that wanted a smaller version of the 106 for their cream bronzer and their cream blush. So again, the 116 is to the 106, what the 109 is to the 101, okay? So now the 101 had a baby sister, but the 106 is just not getting her baby sister. Think of it that way. So those are the 3 new core complexion brushes. Let me go finish my makeup and we'll be right back. Okay, so we are all finished with the makeup. I will link the products that I used on my face down in the description box below. Actually, just to call it out so I don't forget, what's on my eyes is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. This is such a beautiful palette. So this is what we used on my eyes. I'll link everything down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, all the details for the core complexion trio are gonna be down in the description box below. And don't forget, if you shop the core complexion trio before it sells out, you will get a Dr. Whitney Bow Petite Bow Glow included as your free gift. This is a $35 value, you guys. Dr. Whitney Bow's channels will all be in my description box below if you want to go follow her, but she is an incredible dermatologist, celebrity dermatologist, and has an amazing line of skincare products. So we were super excited that they teamed up with us for this promotion. So all the details down below. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're enjoying this holiday season. I know this time of year can be fun and festive, but can also be very stressful. So I hope you're taking time for yourself. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.